We're getting information that the US has launched strikes against the ISIS in Syria. This is the US President Donald Trump's response to the deadly ISIS attack. Now remember that a new strike follows last month's ambush. Last month's ambush killed 2 US soldiers and 1 American civilian. This is the latest that we're tracking at this hour. There seems to be a US strike against ISIS in Syria. This is the latest that we're getting you at this hour. Remember that this is the US President Donald Trump's response to the deadly ISIS attack. This new strike follows last month's ambush, which killed about 2 US soldiers and 1 American civilian. Tracking the latest information coming in at this hour as the US seems to have struck the ISIS in Syria. This comes after last month's ambush, which killed about 2 US soldiers and 1 American civilian. Remember that the US President Donald Trump has repeatedly spoken against the ISIS in Syria, saying that he will strike them. In the latest that we're getting you at this hour, the US seems to have struck the ISIS in Syria. This is a new strike that follows last month's ambush. Well, tracking the latest news coming in at this hour, the United States has in fact struck the ISIS in Syria. This is important information that we get to you. This is the US President's response to the deadly ambush. Remember that there was an ambush, a strike earlier, in which there were about 2 American soldiers that were killed alongside 1 American civilian. This is the US President's latest fight against, of course, the ISIS in Syria. Remember that he has spoken against terror and Islamic terror. He's talked about how the US will strike them. Remember that these are the US military strikes against the Islamic State group in Syria. This is information coming to us from officials. The US and its partner forces have carried out large-scale strikes against the Islamic State groups in Syria, and the Central CENTCOM command has in fact announced this. Remember that there was in fact an operation launched by the US President Donald Trump. This was Operation Hawkeye Strike. This was in retaliation to the ISIS group's deadly attack on US forces in Syria on the 13th of December. The US officials have confirmed the strike, saying that they have retaliated to the ISIS's attack in Syria earlier. Remember, like I mentioned, that in last month's ambush on the 13th of December, 2 US soldiers alongside 1 American civilian were killed. Now, as per the CENTCOM, the strikes were conducted in an effort to combat terrorism and protect the US partner forces in the region.